Hi everyone, and welcome to another video. In today's lesson we will learn how to make this beautiful summer top. There is two ways that you can do the straps. The first way is with the straps straight up, and the other way is with halter neck straps. This project is very easy. I used approximately 200 grams. I'm an Australian size 10. Rachel is a Australian size 8, which is about a 4 in American, and I'm a size 6 in American, so that'll give you an idea on how much yarn you'll need. I've used cotton yarn, and I must be absolutely crazy because it is absolutely freezing here today, but at least I will be looking good in summer. So let's get started on the lesson. First of all, we want to measure the biggest part of our body. So if your bust is the biggest part of your body, we will use that measurement. If your hips or your bottom is your biggest part of your body, we will use that measurement. For today's lesson, we're going to need a tape measure, isn't it cute? A sewing needle for your yarn, a pair of scissors, crochet hook to go with your yarn, and I've got some 10 ply or worsted medium weight cotton. You can also use any thickness of yarn that you like. So what we need to do is get your biggest measurement. Mine is 38, and I've already done my chains because you didn't really want to sit there and listen to me count all those. So what we want to do is make our chain and I need mine to be 38. So make your chain until you have your measurement, and then I want you to add about 30 or 40 extra stitches. I know that sounds a lot, but what happens at the beginning of the row, you actually lose some of these stitches. You'll see what I mean when we start. And then we want some extra ones just in case we've done the wrong measurement or something like that, and we don't want it really tight when it's sitting on us, otherwise we won't be able to get it on properly. And if in doubt, add some extra chains. So I've added an extra 30. You can add 40 or 50, it doesn't matter, because we can actually pull them out when we get to the end of the row. And no one will even know that you've made too many stitches. Only us. So what we need to do is skip 4 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, not including that one on the hook. That counts as our first stitch. Then we want to skip another 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. That counts as the 4 stitches that we skip. And we also want to skip another 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. And what that acts as is chain 4 at the top, the stitch on the bottom, and then the 4 chains that we skip there. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Into the next stitch we're going to work a treble. I could have just said treble into the 13th stitch, but I just wanted to show you how we got all those stitches that we got to skip. So working your treble stitch, chaining 4, skipping 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, treble into the next one, so it's wrapping twice, going into the stitch, pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So now can you see why we need to skip all those stitches there? Because we wanted to make it look like one of those. So the 4 chains on the end here is our stitch, then we've got 4 down the bottom and then 4 up the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip 4 down the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. treble, wrapping twice into the 5th chain, chain 4, treble, wrap twice, it is, skip 4 into that next one, going to work a treble, and we're going to repeat this. Ooh, not that. Try again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Treble into that stitch. Pull through 2. Pull through 2. I'm going to repeat that all the way across. So chain 4, skip 4, treble into the next stitch. And because we've got those extra stitches on the end, we may need those. 1, 2, 3, 4. We want to make this beginning row a bit bigger than the biggest part of us. First of all, we want to chain 4. We want to make our first row bigger than our measurement because we don't want it super skin tight. I'm pretty sure we'd have troubles trying to get it on. So that's why we want to add all those extra stitches so we can make it a couple of inches bigger than our measurement. So repeat this across and I'll meet up with you when we get to the end. So I've finished mine, and my original measurement was 38 inches, and now I've continued across until I'm just about at the end, and I've measured it again. Sorry, I had a bit of a blank moment. Measured it again, and now it's 42 inches. So that's an extra 4 inches in my measurement, and you want about that much. Depending on how baggy you want the top, you can add more if you like to. That's completely up to you. I don't want mine skin tight, but then I don't want it too baggy. Right, so when we come to the end, we want to finish off with the double crochet like that. And I'm going to have all these extra chains, but that's fine because we can undo those. What we want to do is chain 4. Something's rattling, hang on. That's better. 1, 2, 3, 4. But we're not going to double crochet down there. What we're going to do is join this thing together. So we want to make sure that it's not twisted. Okay, so we're just making sure that's not twisted. And then, hang on, my yarn is all twisted up. We're going to join. So we want to count, we can do it either way, so you're going to count 4 across the top or 4 across the bottom. I think I'll go on the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, count 4 across the top, and we're going to slip stitch into the 5th chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Because this is the very first stitch, this is counted as our treble. Alright, so we want to, which one am I going to? 1, 2, 3, 4. Going into this one through that chain stitch and then join with a slip stitch. So we're going to use a couple of those for the, sorry I didn't explain that very well, did I? We need the 4 chains down the bottom because we're going to sew it into here. So I'm just making sure. Do you ever have just one of those days when nothing is going right? Well, this tutorial is one of those days. This is about the 6th time I've filmed this. So much for the 3rd time lucky. Alright, so I'm just laying it flat, so I'm just making sure it's not twisted around. See how it's all laying flat? Because you don't want to join your row and then find out that you've done it wrong. Okay, and what? So I'm going to just pull that loop out so it doesn't come undone. Now down the bottom here we need 4 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've actually got 2 extras. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I've got 2 extras, so I can actually undo those. And what you do is you just grab the knot. See how there's the knot on the end? It's grab and wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle. You can also use your sewing needle and grab the loop that's there. Now if you've done yours really tight, this might be hard to get undone. Don't usually do mine very tight, so just in case I need to undo them. If you can't get it undone, grab your scissors and just chop off that last chain, and that will give you a starting point of where to undo it. There we go, gotcha. So once you've got that loop on the end here, then you can get your needle in there and just pull it out. So we want 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to pull those ones out. So then you're just finding where the next strand is, just pulling it out. One, 2, 3, 4. This looks like a chain, but when we pull that tight, it actually becomes the knot. So now we can grab our sewing needle. And I've got the wrong one. This is the one with the really small eye on it. Oh, I got it. Yay. So now we're going to just sew that chain across like that. We're going to count 4 chains from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to sew into there. There we go. So see how that looks like it's joined and we didn't really join it. So we're going to sew that in, tying that off, and then sewing in our end, and we'll be ready for the next row. What we want to do is chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. That counts as our first stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4. That counts as the chain 4 across the top. What we want to do now is treble. So it's wrapping twice into the top of the next treble, so into here. Then we want to chain 4, treble into the top of the next treble, and repeat this all the way around. That's it. That's all that is for the rows. Okay, so the first 4 chains of that section are our first stitch, and that chain falls across the top. So chain 4, treble into the next treble. Did I only do a double crochet then? Didn't work, did it? There we go. One, two, three, four. Wrap twice. Go into the next treble, and we're going to repeat this all the way around. And I will meet up with you when we get back to the beginning of the row here. And if that was where we sewn the bottom together, if you've still got yarn left over, we can actually crochet over that. We are going to be working a little tiny border just to neaten off the edge, so we can always crochet off any tails that we've got left over there. Okay, so we're going to keep going until we get around to the beginning. When we get around, we've done our treble and our chain 4, and we've got our beginning chains here, and we're going to join into the 4th chain. 1, 2, 3. Go into the 4th chain, working a slip stitch, and that is the completion of that row, and all the rows are the same. So we chain 8, 8, and treble into the next treble. And then we chain 4 and treble into the next treble. Repeat this all the way around. What's happening there? Repeat it all the way around until you get back to the beginning and slip stitching into the 4th chain. We're going to make as many rows as we need for the length that you want your top. Basically, it's going to be waist length. If you want it longer, of course, make it longer. And then it's going to come up and over your bust. And then we're going to make the straps. But if you stay tuned, you will see in a minute how much I've done. In the next video clip, how much I've done, and then I'll show you what it looks like on Rachel, and you can see how it's going to sit, and then we're going to work on our straps. This is how far I have on my top. I have approximately 20 rows, so basically it's just a tube at the moment. So you want to continue making yours until you have the right length that you've got. It's quite windy outside today, as you can see. Who knows, Rachel might even fall over because it's so windy. She's starting to wobble. So I had to just set her up like this so I could put the camera inside so the wind wouldn't affect the camera. So again, keep going until you have your tubes. You have a tube, and then we are going to work on the straps at the top. Now that's not tight around the top. I'm just looking at it as I'm talking. It's not tight around the top. It's just sort of held up there so it wouldn't fall down. Alrighty, so there is lots of room. There's probably about 3 inches on each side. I'll see if I can walk out there and just hold it open for you so you can see how big it is. So you can see there's still quite a bit of room in there. Still quite a bit of room. Hey, when I was making this top, I actually made an error. The next part in the top, I am telling you that it's going to be the top of the mesh top, like up here, but it actually ended up being the bottom because there was a design flaw when I tried to put the drawstring in for the straps. It didn't work out. So in the next section of the video, I'm actually working the bottom of your top. So if you want this to be the bottom of your top, you're going to have to switch your mesh around and work this next section around the bottom Okay, so I apologise for that mistake. I did make this pattern up as I went, so in the next section I will still have my yarn attached, so that's the top of the top. Too many tops. Yeah, so the next part is actually the top of the top, but I ended up having that as the bottom. So my shirt's actually upside down, but you can't really tell. So if you want your next section around the bottom of yours, you're going to have to just flip yours upside down and work this next part around the bottom of your shirt. Alright, so sorry about that. Anyway, on with the lesson. With your yarn attached, if it's not, just reattach it. I'm at the top of the garment. What we're going to do is chain one. You can work half double crochet or single crochet, and we're going to work it around the top of our tank top. So we're going to single crochet into the space. We're going to work 4 single crochet. You could work into the chain space, so into the chain spaces there. I'm going to work 4 single crochets into the actual space. 1, 2, 3, 4. Single crochet into the top of the treble. And 4 single crochets into the space. Single crochet into the top of the treble and single crochet into the space. I'm going to do 4 single crochets, and we're going to repeat this all the way around. And I have no idea what that bird was just before. It was just outside the door, so I thought I'd quickly get him on camera. It's some sort of finch, I know that much. 1, 2, 3. So cute, wasn't it? And then single crochet into the top of the treble. And keep going around until we get back to the beginning. I'm at the end of the row, and I'm going to work a single crochet into the treble, because we didn't do it when we were starting off. Then we're going to slip stitch into the next stitch. I'm actually going to change colour just for a row, because I've been trying to bust this cone of cotton for so long, trying to get rid of it, trying to use it up. It's just hanging on. I used it for my other mesh top, and I also used it in part of one of my mesh bags, and it's still going. So if you're finishing off, this is what you're going to do. If you're continuing on, you're just going to chain 1 and keep going in single crochet. But I'm going to finish off the blue. Then I'm going to join in the cream. I've just realised this cream might disappear in the background. We'll see how it goes. There we go. Come here. So I'm working a chain stitch to secure. Chain 1. Single crochet in the next stitch. And we're going to single crochet in every stitch around until we get back to the beginning. So I'm up at the end of the row. We're going to slip stitch to join to the first stitch, and our next row this is being stubborn. Slip stitch, and we're going to do our next row. Now, next row is going to be the eyelet row that we can use to thread in our tie. You could also use elastic in this row if you wanted to, if you don't want the tie up. That would work just as well. But I'm trying to make it so it's all crochet, so you don't have to go and buy any extra pieces. So our eyelet row, we're going to chain 1 and single crochet in the same stitch. Then we will chain 1, skip 1 and single crochet into the next stitch. Chain 1, skip 1, single crochet into the next stitch. Chain 1, skip 1 and single crochet in the next stitch. I'm going to work this all the way around, and this little eyelets here, the little holes, is going to be where you can thread your ribbon, or you can just use a crochet chain, thread that through there. So keep repeating around until we come back to the beginning, and if you have a stitch marker handy, might be an idea just to place one there. I'm sure you'll know when you get back to there anyway, but I'm going to pop that in just to remind me. When we get back to the beginning, if you've got a stitch, not enough stitches, you only have like one difference. It won't matter, just do a chain 1 and then join into here. So I've got single crochet, chain 1, skip 1. So let's just say that this was a stitch. It's not, it's actually part of there, but let's say that's a stitch. Go into there, single crochet, chain 1 and join to the beginning stitch. It's only one stitch that you're going to be out, so it's not going to matter. Once you have your chain or your drawstring in there, you're not going to see it at all. So that's really good. If you've got the right amount of stitches, you're going to slip stitch into there, making sure you don't need chain 1 there, and join. Now we're going to work 2 more rows of single crochet. So chain 1, single crochet, I hope that background is not washing this out. I'm going to grab that as a background. Is that better? Into the chain 1 space, we're going to work a single crochet, into the single crochet we're going to work 1 single crochet, into the chain 1 space, work a single crochet, into the single crochet, work a single crochet. So you've pretty much figured that out. It's in every chain 1 and in every single crochet, we're working 1 single crochet all the way around until we get back to the beginning. I have just completed the 1 row of the cream, and my next row will be blue because I want to imitate. Got blue, 3 cream, we've got blue, 1 row of single crochet and cream, the eyelet row and cream, this single crochet and cream, and my next row is going to be blue. So around the other end of our project, this is the other opening, so this is, what is it? This is where we started actually. Going to join in our yarn, and we're going to chain 1, and I'm going to work that single crochet row all around here. So I'm going to work 4 double crochets, and then working into the stitch. Then I'm going to work 4 double crochets in the next, and single crochet, and we're going to single crochet into the stitch. After this row, I'm going to work an eyelet row. If you've forgotten how to do it, just rewind the video and go and check it out. And I'm going to work that in cream. So I'm going to finish off this row, then work an eyelet row in cream. So this is the bottom, and I have made a chain long enough to go around the bottom and just threaded it through, as you can see. And that's the main part of the top. And then up here I've made another chain and I've threaded it through. You can't really see it because I've threaded it through the cream bit. See how I've threaded it through there? So this is just at the front that I've threaded it through. I haven't done it through the back. And then I've got my long straps. You could also thread it all the way around, but leave the gap there. So I've threaded it through this little section here. You could start here, thread it all the way around the back, and all the way back around, and come out here, and have this part vacant, and then you could tie it up, and that can be your halter neck. You can also thread it like this, back and front, and you would have to imagine that I've actually done the other side, and then you have straps that go straight up instead of as a halter neck. So it is very easy to change the straps. You could actually make 3 straps and have one for a halter neck, and if you're feeling like another day, you can actually take that strap out and rethread in the other ones, and you've got basically 2 tops in one. That would be cool too, wouldn't it? Another way to thread the straps is it's been threaded through the middle section and that's left vacant. You could do this front and back, and then you've got this bit gathered and not under your arms. The first way that I showed you to do the straight straps, it will be gathered under your arms and then not at the front. So it's just a bit of experimenting to see the look that you like. Here's my finished top. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Please subscribe as there'll be plenty more videos to come. Also share your creation on our Facebook page. I would love to see what colour combinations you have come up with. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy crochet!